Welcome to Think Deeper Podcast, presented by Focus Press. Jack Wilkie here with you with Will Harrub and Joe Wilkie. We've got a fun one. We've had a lot of heavy-hitting topics lately, and we're taking a break from that to have a little bit of fun on a special occasion weekend, I guess. They gave us the occasion for the episode. We'll get to that in a minute. Just wanted to tell you about something we released toward the end of last year, and it kind of got lost in the shuffle. It's a book called Transformed Faith, written by myself and Dr. Brad Harrub. That's not good grammar. Written by myself, written by me and Dr. Brad Harrub. And it's available on Amazon. It's available on Focus Press. It's 13 chapters of our writings, of essays we've done on some of the hardest hitting topics in the world today for Christians in politics and LGBT issues and children and technology and all kinds of things, pornography addiction, all kinds of issues. Like I said, 13 of the most pressing ones for Christians. And so, yeah, check that out on Amazon or on Focus Press. And we've gotten some really great reviews. We're thankful for those that have picked some up and churches that are using it. So be sure to check that out. Now that we've gotten our promo out of the way, we have this weekend, or we just had, this is coming out on a Monday, the NFL draft. Now, you don't have to be a football fan to enjoy this episode, but that was the occasion for doing this, is we are drafting the 66 books of the Bible and seeing who can come up with the best lineup, so to speak, of 22 books, which works out because a football team, it's 11 defenders, 11 guys on offense on the field, and so 22. We'll end up with 22 books apiece. We are doing it in order of a snake draft, which means we go 1, 2, 3, and then we reverse it where the guy who picked third gets fourth, and so on. So we even it up, and one guy's not picking last every single round. And so, yeah, what we're going to do is, there's 66 of them. We do have to work through them pretty quickly. That gives us about a minute of banter for each one. We're going to make fun of each other's picks or any of that stuff. I want to put out the disclaimer. We're not saying books of the Bible are not valuable or relevant, but let's be honest here. Nobody here spends as much time in Song of Solomon as they do in, say, Romans or the Psalms or something like that, right? I mean,
Watch
it's not
yourself.
that it,
Watch yourself.
I was going to say, maybe you said Joe.
Maybe Joe does. Most Bible reading programs die at Leviticus, which means most people don't spend a lot of time in Leviticus. And so, yeah,
This is just a fun exercise. Don't think too hard about it.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Don't overthink it. Don't think we're putting down parts of the Bible when we rank one above another, because everyone has their favorite Bible books. So, man, I don't know about you guys. Getting through 66 of them to figure out how to rank them all was very, very difficult. That's a lot of books to sort out that way, but it is what it is.
I ranked them on my own, like I went down, I was doing this last night and kind of prepped my draft board here. And I get to like 42 and I'm like, I like that book more than that. I feel like this should be like 31. And it's like, but I can't just switch 31 to 42. So I'd have to go and like delete all of them.
And you're above. Yeah.
This is rough. So next time we're going to have to draft Bible characters and complete our roster.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
King Eglon is like the offensive lineman, number 1 overall. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's a good one.
So that's what I'm thinking. We got to do something fun. But no, we're excited about this one just because, again, it's very lighthearted. We plan to have a good time. We hope you have a good time with us. I don't even know what the deep end's going to look like for this. Give us your thoughts on our concluded when we get there, I guess.
I would say definitely at the conclusion of this episode, or if you're commenting or whatever, let us know who you think has the best team. Let us know what pick was a reach when Joe takes, I don't know, Second Chronicles in the 7th round, tell him that was a reach or whatever it was. But let's establish some ground rules, and then, Jack, I will hand it back to you. We are allowing trades. Trades are possible either before a pick is taken or after a pick is taken.
If you just really want a book.
You have to make sure everything equals out to 22 teams or 22 books a piece for each person. So that's a ground rule. I guess there's not really any others. I guess that's kind of the main one that I wanted to cover.
You are going to do the snakes. Yeah, snake shot. So explain that real fast.
I did.
Did you?
Sorry. Wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's
I wasn't
right.
paying attention.
Already out of it.
Something else. There you go.
Hey,
I think we're going to do pretty well. Yeah.
Luckily, I have a sweet draft board. I don't even have to pay attention this episode. So
that's it.
I've done all my work.
Auto draft like ESPN.
Yeah, that's
Fantasy. Right. Okay. The other thing we've mentioned before, these are now in video on YouTube. If you want to keep up, video will be helpful because we are putting the draft board and the picks made on there. We're going to start though by screen sharing to figure out who actually gets first pick. So let's go to that and
Jack
randomize.
puts himself first already. Yeah,
it's alphabetical, man. Wait, No, randomize them. It didn't. Let's try that again.
This is rigged already.
Yeah, apparently.
Wow, I don't know about
try
this.
Randomize. That's not doing it at all.
Do you highlight them?
Okay, let's try this again and see if it works. We're gonna do it in reverse order. Okay, now it randomized this time. So it's
Fair
Joe,
enough.
Jack,
It
Will.
probably randomized with your time too, but
stuck with last
sorry.
pick. Whatever.
Joe, well, but you get that turn
get the
pick in
fourth,
the
yeah.
snake draft. Yeah, that's an advantage sometimes.
All right, baby.
All right. Now if I can get this screen shared to our draft board.
Yeah, because 1 and 6 kind of stinks.
So it was okay. I know that I'm screen sharing. Don't tell me that. Thank you. It was Joe,
Jack, Will.
Will. All right. So Joe, you're on the clock with pick number 1 of the entire draft.
I'm going with Romans.
Yeah, great pick.
Going with Romans.
Yep. Okay. What makes that number 1?
I mean, it's the what were we saying? The magnum opus of Paul. It has a little bit of everything. Goes back into the Old Testament, goes into the New Testament, tells us about salvation, tells us about. It explains the entire Old Testament, like the purpose of it. It explains our sin, our life as a Christian, the doctrinal, the practical, and 12 through 16. Like, it is the complete picture, in my opinion. And I think it's the most theologically rich book in the Bible. So yeah, I'm going with Romans.
All right. So now some of this is gonna sound familiar to longtime deep thinkers. We did do something akin to this at some point, but I think it was like top 3 or top 5 books. And so Romans had come up. If somebody does not have Romans in your top 3, top 5, let me know why. I would be very interested. I think that was it was a pretty consensus first round pick. So let's put Joe down for Romans here in box 1. With pick number 2, I'm going with the Psalms. 150
wow.
of
that is interesting. That is
the songbook of the Bible.
I thought for sure you were going to take a different one that
theologically rich, quoted so much Christological stuff, pointing toward Jesus. You got Psalm 23, you've got Psalm 51, you've got
longest book of the Bible.
1, you got Psalm 100, 119. I mean, there's just it's the Psalms. So that's pick number 2.
Okay, well, I definitely thought Genesis was getting taken off the board. So since it doesn't really matter, since I have back-to-back picks, go ahead and put me down for Genesis.
All right.
And then I'm going to go Ephesians.
For my
second.
All right. Well, that was 5 and 6 on my board. That's not bad. All right. So Ephesians, I think, is kind of like mini Romans. So I get that one.
Yeah. As far as Paul's epistles, that's probably my favorite epistle other than Romans. As far as the smaller ones, I love Ephesians. I think it's fantastic.
Did you both have Genesis above the Psalms?
Yes,
I did. Well, I thought you were going to take Genesis, and then I was going to go Psalms. And
okay.
Genesis was my number 2 pick.
Okay, wow. So I'm the one who reached this time, but I mean, it's the Psalms, so that's not really.
Psalms was 7 for me.
You're high on the Psalms.
7. My goodness,
yeah,
man.
I know.
Needs to read more Psalms. Yeah,
that's what it is.
So I bet you could have gotten that at this pick, Jack.
Yeah, I honestly could have. Maybe I could have. This doesn't change my board that much, so I'm going to go with John.
I'm going to have to reach on my board because the next one I don't think I'm going to go with. I'm going to reach down to what was actually my number 6 pick, which is Exodus.
Exodus.
Whoa.
Okay. That's our first real draft climber.
I'm going with Exodus. Having studied it recently, check out Focus Plus. Jack and I got our class going up, understudy. Having studied that recently, I've been preaching out of it a lot. We were doing as an Exodus for a long time on our 365, also Focus Plus. I've fallen in love with Exodus, and
it's a great book.
I would say it is one of the best books to understand the holiness of God, to really understand the nature of God in the entire Bible. It is fantastic from that point of view. It establishes Israel, establishes it's the giving of the law, it's the tabernacle, which points to Christ. It's so many things. It is. Other than Genesis, I'd say quintessential Old Testament.
So
that is not on my draft board. I do have those above it that I would rather take, but so as to balance out Romans, I'm going to go with Exodus. Get something in the Old Testament.
So you're saying, just to be clear, you have books ranked above Exodus that are still on the board that you're not taking. You're taking Exodus instead. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's kind of like I don't want to draft 2 quarterbacks. The second quarter, you know what I mean? Like the second
well, you get another pick right now, so.
That's right. I do think I forgot about that. Yeah. Now this is the real struggle because I actually have I'm gonna go with John.
I already took John. Somebody's not paying
Once
attention
again,
at all
not
tonight.
paying attention.
Oh, I was not paying attention. I was too busy focused on mine.
You can't have him. You can offer a trade if you want.
All right.
I was the one that was trying to say, okay,
Joe
Matthew.
forfeited his pick. Oh my
And
goodness.
he's on the clock.
Matthew?
Yeah,
Matthew.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Why'd you have that up next, Luke or Will?
That's who I was about to take.
It's
Matthew.
Okay, I was gonna say that's Sermon on the Mount. So if we're going a little bit lower than that, that'd be tough. I'm actually gonna pay attention to your pick this time, Jack. I promise.
I had Luke well above Matthew, oddly enough.
He was my next, yeah.
Man, I've got my order, but now the way this is shaking out, it's like, do you take the one that I had next, or
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Why it's a challenge. So we're gonna sum up our first 9 picks here at the end of the round for anybody who's listening on audio, so you don't feel too lost, man. Now I don't know,
Jack. What would it take? What would it take to get your pick here?
Oh, for a trade. Let's see. We're in round 3, so I would give you 3 and 10 for your 6 and 7.
3 and 10. Oh, so now I would get 3 picks in a row if I do that, though.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh boy. 3 and 10 for your 5 and 6.
No, not doing that.
Okay, too high. All right. I don't. All of a sudden, I don't want to take the next one on my board, but I'm going to Hebrews.
Oh, thank goodness.
Joe, when you said like picking the same one twice, was it Romans and Hebrews? Is that what you had in mind?
No, actually, I did have Matthew next, John and Matthew, which are I wanted one of the Gospels, but I was hoping Luke, Matthew, and John would be there. One of them. You took John. I wasn't paying attention. I wanted an higher Old Testament one to balance out, and since Psalms and Genesis was taken, I wanted to snag that one. Yeah.
All
right, Will, what do you got?
Well, Jack's high on Mark, so we know he's going to take Mark. So I almost feel like I don't think. Go ahead.
Why don't you take John? I don't think that's been taken.
That was
funny
great.
Guy,
that
funny guy.
Oh man. Yeah, actually, give me Romans. No, let's see.
That's a steal at the 9th pick.
There's enough. Yeah, there's enough to go around.
This is brutal. So Joe is Mr. Old Testament here, and he's gone double New Testament to start. I was thinking y'all were going to go so heavy Old Testament that I'd have plenty of the New Testament to choose from. Not necessarily the case so far, yeah. And Jack, you as well have gone double new. Give me Luke. I'm definitely going to take Luke.
I was afraid you were going to do that.
Yeah. Now what to do my next pick is very tough here.
Well, yeah. We can trade after the pick has been taken, right?
You can. Are you proposing a trade right now?
Not yet. I want to see what you leave.
Okay. Yeah. So full disclosure, I did not pre-rank my books like these two guys did. I kind of wanted to react live on air. All right, I'm down to 2 here. Oh, this is super tough. I'm gonna go with Proverbs.
Proverbs. Oh, that was my next one up on my board.
I'll take Proverbs.
Okay. In fact, Luke and Proverbs were the 2 I had next. So to sum up the first 10 picks, Joe has Romans, Exodus, and Matthew. I have Psalms. Jack, for those listening, and so I hear sometimes people get mixed up on the voices. So Jack, I have Psalms, John, and Hebrews, and Will at this point has Genesis, Ephesians, Luke, and Proverbs. That is very good mixture there.
I feel like getting picked 3rd was better.
I mean, that turnability is kind of nice.
It is. Double picks in a row is nice.
Man, I've got one where I could go really off the board here. I think I'll save it. Oh, man.
Oh, I know. I bet I know which one it is, too. You're thinking about taking Revelation right now, aren't you? I bet that's what it is.
Let's see.
It's probably Obadiah.
It's Revelation.
Yeah, for sure.
Put me down.
Are you ready?
Whoa, I knew it.
That is
It's
interesting.
a lot of fun to teach.
I gotta know. Because I would not have taken that anytime soon. Joe, what round would you have taken Revelation in?
Don't ask this. I had it at number 37.
Oh wow! So that's
okay. Jack.
I just got
I had it at number 37.
I was
the reason why it's so good. We taught it, and I really thought about putting it higher. And then I thought about it. And I'm like, okay, what is it? It offers some. That sounds horrible to say. It's a book of the Bible, but like,
what does it offer?
when you think about I was thinking about doctrine, I was thinking about history, I was thinking about all sorts of things. It is such a difficult book to understand that I think we have a grasp of it on a minuscule level. But it's so debatable on a lot of different things that I'm like, man, I just found it going down my draft board. So yeah, hey, glad that one's out of the way. I'm going to take, and this is where it gets very, very difficult because the one that I think would round it out a little bit more is not necessarily the one I want to take. I'm gonna go with X.
I thought so.
That's interesting. I don't know if you guys remember when we did the top 5 Bible books, Joe was pretty low on Acts.
Yeah.
Because we did top 5 favorite and we did top 5 most important, and Joe did not have that in his top 5. So that is very interesting.
You got to remember though that and I go again here too. Yeah, you got to remember that as we're rounding out now, I have the church history, I have Israel history and church history, and I have a gospel, and I'm pretty happy with my team. It's I'm taking more of a rounded out approach. And as I'm looking at my board, I realized I had Acts at 9 and Acts at 14, and I have 66 books on my board. So one of the books of the Bible is not on my board right now.
Joe doesn't know.
I don't know which one it is.
Book. Somebody can teach him this.
Apparently,
song.
I don't.
So
yeah, that's right.
Hopefully, it's a major one that you're missing out on.
I know. As I'm looking, like, well, now I'm going to have to sing the song to myself and go. No, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm going to go with 1 Corinthians.
You troll.
I had that up next too.
That's a great one.
That's off the board. That's off the board. Oh man, the one I want to take next is I think it's another one that would be categorized as a big time reach. So I'm not sure that I want to.
I know which one's off. Oh, okay.
Let's see.
When it comes up, Joe, you gotta let us know which one it was.
I'm trying to mind read, so I don't do what I just did with Revelation and jump 10 rounds ahead of you guys.
We haven't had a single trade yet. Also, don't forget.
Right, but yeah, now that the big ones are going out of the way, a trade seems more likely because, man, I didn't want to give up like a top 5 pick. Okay, I just got to have the guts to go with my board. Ecclesiastes.
Wow.
Yeah, I had that up there too.
Okay. I was curious which Old Testament book would jump off the board next.
Yeah, there's some good candidates, but that...
I'm feeling very... solid on Old Testament right now, so I'm thinking about going double New Testament here.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Out of the New Testament ones that are left, man, it would be funny if one of us took Mark, leaving Jack with 0 Gospels.
I have John.
No, Jack got John. Never mind.
Nobody here wants John. What is happening?
That's great.
I really spaced
that's good.
Why. Oh man,
seriously, I don't know when this happened. Jack must have said nothing about it because I was zoned out, man.
I'm gonna be honest. 2 rounds ago, I was sitting here going, I should probably take Mark because I don't have a gospel yet.
Oh man,
sorry, John.
Poor John. Listen, man.
You know what?
Yeah.
The other thing about this, our listeners, our faithful listeners, are used to us getting into very deep topics and get passionate. And like, this is kind of a self-indulgent episode. I'm not gonna lie, but
it is.
I'm definitely going 1 Timothy. Got to go 1 Timothy here.
Okay, that's
your eldership qualifications. Just
I know you don't have a board, but if you did, it would look a lot like mine because you keep picking my next one up. Let's see if I can predict your next one.
Oh, I've got an Old Testament book that I really want, but all right, I have decided. I think I'm actually going to go with 1 John.
1 John.
Really?
I think it'd be a travesty to not have a book written by John anywhere in my lineup, so that's what I'm going with.
I think Jack could have had the collection.
Yeah,
John Revelation. Have to make a trade for it.
That's right. I was going down the list. Okay, there's the crowd pleaser, and there's the book that I personally enjoy more. Which again, going back, it's not the Bible books are better than another, but it's just personal preference. Man, there's
it's
no
tough
way
because you can't share like it's tough because you can't share what it's like down to for your 2 picks because then you're going to reveal your other pick. Yeah,
there's no way Joe leaves this one for me 2 picks later, and so I kind of want to take it.
You got to take it then. You got to take it,
but I don't know that I want it that bad. It's James.
Yeah.
It's got to be up on your board. So if you want to trade for it, Joe, or I can just take it.
What would you trade? What are you proposing?
Let's see. This is number 6. So if you gave me 9 and 10, I'd give you 6 and 13.
So Joe would get 3. Joe would get 3 picks in a row.
Yeah.
Or you, Joe, just because I'm commentating here, Jack's already made it clear he doesn't value it super highly. So
I'll take that.
We might have a trade. So you're going to take
that.
Oh, got it.
Right now.
Okay.
And then I'll get your 9 and 10, and you'll get my 13.
Yeah.
Okay. So
wow. So remember that. Remember that. Yeah.
So what you got?
Okay. I'm going to take James.
All right. And then your other 2. So 3 picks in a row here.
I'm going to take Philippians.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this is where it gets difficult because the next one on my board, I'm going to take 1 Peter.
That's what I had. I was sitting on. Okay. So 1 Peter, James, and so I am going to take.
Should have taken 1 John. Just
kidding. I'm gonna take. Oh man, that's hard. We've left Mark this whole time, but I already have a gospel. It's kind of like we all loaded up on the gospel we wanted, and now we don't need one. So I'm gonna go
Mark.
Galatians.
Oh, I was afraid you were gonna take mine.
All right, what you got?
Man, we are leaving the Old Testament books out to dry right now.
I know. Those are I got 3 next up on my board. We'll see what you take.
Well, that's really good to know, Joe. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go. Man, this would be 3 New Testaments in a row here. Let's go Colossians. That's a great one. Hard to pass that one up. Jack, you already took Galatians.
Right.
Joe, curiously, which one of those 2 would you taken? Galatians or Colossians first, if you had the choice?
I had Colossians up on my list. Colossians was at 22 for me. Galatians was at 25.
Interesting.
Yeah. Galatians it's got the fruit of the spirit, but it's a little more niche. It is specifically doing
gospel. Spirit,
it does have a
grace.
lot, but it's obviously mainly about the Judaizers, whereas Colossians is more just assurance of the faith. So I don't know. It seems more accessible, I guess. But yeah, Galatians is a fantastic book. But What do you got, Will?
All right. So for my next pick, I am going to take. Man, I kind of can't believe Mark is still up on the board, but I'm with Jack. I don't really know that I need Mark at this point. Right. Give me Mark. I'm taking it.
All right. Mr. 2 Gospel.
Mark is like the equivalent of Bo Nix. Like it's good, but he'll probably drop to 2nd round. You know what I mean? Like he'll be down.
If you're not a football fan, you will not get that reference. But
all right, so I'm gonna take an Old Testament book, and I've got 2 more coming up because of Joe's trades to me, so that's good. Not right away, but let's see. I'm gonna take an Old Testament book. Man, there's some good ones out there. I'm gonna go with 1 Samuel. I'm gonna go with David's story.
Nice.
That's solid. That's solid.
You got Samuel, you got David and Goliath, or I mean, you got Saul's rise and fall. You got David and Goliath. You got some good stuff. So, all right, Joe, your pick.
I've got 5, 6 Old Testament straight on my board, but I don't know that I want to take. This is really tough. For the sheer length,
can I propose a trade, Joe?
Okay. What do you got? Oh, okay.
As I'm sitting here looking at my lineup here, Colossians and Ephesians are very, very similar. I am open to trading Colossians, so I will throw that out there and let you.
I appreciate
do with that what you will.
Unless you had a tantalizing, unless you were like trading Genesis, I got to round out my
Genesis.
I got to round out my Old Testament as well. I currently am sitting on 1 Old Testament book, Exodus. Wow. So I have to get. So
Would you trade? No, I'll go ahead. I'll propose mine on my team on my turn. Go right ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna go with just because I like it so much. I'm gonna go with Daniel.
Oh, that was my next pick.
Great one. Great pick.
Okay, Joe just won VBS.
Which is ironic.
My favorite.
Joe can't stand VBS.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do the second half of Daniel for VBS.
Okay, so I am gonna go Isaiah.
That was getting. Yep. That was the one I was debating back and forth.
And there's. I'm incredibly light on
because you have 2 picks in a row. That's right.
He's got basically 4 out of 6 picks. I should have thought through this. That's dumb.
Oh, Second Corinthians hasn't been taken. Second Corinthians,
no.
Yeah. Okay, for sure.
Will, are you proposing a trade?
I was gonna. I'm open to trading something that you've already picked.
Sure.
So let's see. What would it take? Would you do Colossians for 1 Peter?
Wow, that's a great.
While he thinks about that,
that's pretty good value.
I'm going to speak to the deep thinkers here, and I'm going to catch us up on. In fact, let me just catch us up on the picks to this point. And
go right ahead.
Think who's ahead while Joe considers Colossians for 1 Peter. Joe has Romans, Exodus, Matthew, Acts, 1 Corinthians, Philippians, 1 Peter, and Daniel. Oh, and James. I have Psalms, John, Hebrews, Revelation, Ecclesiastes, Galatians, 1 Samuel, Isaiah, and 2 Corinthians. Will has Genesis, Ephesians, Luke, Proverbs, 1 Timothy, 1 John, Colossians, Mark. I got to say, I'm running away with it, fellas.
I disagree.
I don't know. That Revelation and Ecclesiastes back-to-back round picks.
Ecclesiastes is underrated.
It's a fantastic book, but that's pretty high up on the board there. Well, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to turn that one down. 1 Peter gives some uniqueness.
It's okay.
It is
to mine. So yeah, you're good, man.
That's okay.
Such an idiot trading Jack having 4 out of 6 picks. I should have done around 9 and 11
a good bit. It is my pick though. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
It is your pick.
2
I got 2 in a row. I am going to. I have not done Old Testament in a bit. I'm going to take Jonah.
I knew it.
As far as like teaching and things, there's some great stuff in Jonah to teach from and such. And I figured that was coming off the board here pretty shortly. So
you say it's deep.
I would.
No. No. I'm not. No.
Okay, I'm taking one of these, and I know that these are probably not going to be left on my. So I'm actually going to say both of them and let you guys tell me, try to convince me here. 1 Thessalonians or 2 Peter?
Oh.
You want me to tell you which one I pick, or which one I think you should pick?
Not necessarily. Well, yeah. I mean, make the case. I'm kind of torn on those two. So many.
I'll tell you what Well, no, I don't want to tell you what I have higher on my board.
Well, Jack's got next pick.
You should take 2 Peter. Take 2 Peter.
Why is that, Jack?
Jack's.
I mean, you got the 2 Peter 3, and the Lord's not patient, or is not is patient.
Yeah, give me 2 Peter. He's right. Give me 2 Peter.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's good stuff in 2 Peter 2. I think the righteous lot section, all that. So 2 Peter.
Good
I almost picked Isaiah again. I already have Isaiah. These next 2 picks are me, Jack. So I am doing not Isaiah because that's gone. I'm doing man. This is getting really hard. There's the things I want to pick, and there's the things that I know are going to be the crowd pleasers, and we're going to put this out for a vote that are going to lose me the thing. And so, like, I have 2 in a row here. I got to do what I want. Nehemiah is one of them, and
okay,
not upset with that pick.
Oh, I don't know about Job.
Man, that's I knew it.
Great pick.
That was gonna be mine. If I didn't trade my pick, I would have had it. All right, give me Joshua.
That was what I was debating between Joshua and Job. So I got it.
Joshua and Job were
you traded me like the birthright. the
Okay.
stew.
Uh,
Just had to have it. All right, so Joshua's gone, and that puts it. Oh, it's already my turn again. This is great. What a
this is
trade,
terrible.
Titus.
Yep. Jack's not. He reached on Revelation, Ecclesiastes, but these last few picks, other than Nehemiah, Job and Titus were great. Second Corinthians, those are some great picks.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it's lasted this long. I'm going to go Deuteronomy.
Okay. Yeah.
Got some great stuff in Deuteronomy with the Shema.
That was my next one.
Yep. So Deuteronomy for me. Man, having back-to-back picks is so nice. Jack took Titus. That was going to be my next New Testament book off the board. I figured with First Timothy, and you already got the elders qualifications, so I wasn't super bummed to miss out on that one. I've got one that would really throw a wrench into some things, I feel like here. Do I take the other Timothy to complete the double Timothy, or do I? Hey, I don't want to name the other one that I'm going to take. Jack, what would it take to get your next pick? I can get two in a row.
Let's see. We're on 12. Give me your.
Jack fleeced me last time, so be careful.
Give me your 14 and 15, and I'll give you my 17.
Don't do back-to-back rounds. That's one thing I've learned. Do like 14, 16 or something. Because man, he's stacked. He got like 6 or 7
and 16
picks.
would get you 12 and 20.
14 and what was the other? I'll do 14 and 16 for 12 and 18.
Nah.
What was the first offer?
12, 14, 16, and what did I say?
17? 12 and 20 for 14 and 16.
Well, but I had said it first 17. I don't want to do that. Yeah, no deal. So you
I'll do the first. I'll do the first one.
So,
I'll give you back-to-back picks, 15 and 16. Or
12.
Yeah, whichever. Yeah,
I think
12.
I said 12, 14. Oh, I said 12, 14, 15, and 17, but I don't want to give up 17.
That's that. Oh, you then 18. That's fine.
12, 14, 15, 18. Fine.
All right. Give me Second Timothy. And give me Song of Solomon.
What?
Woo!
Okay.
Yeah. What?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Will is okay.
Joe's turn.
All righty.
I don't pick for a while now. That was a bad
3 in a row. 3 in a row. All right.
Back-to-back round picks. Right.
I'm gonna take First Thessalonians.
Okay.
Nice.
3 in a row. Let me think about this. I'm gonna take. I'm looking at my board. You know what? This is gonna be great. I think.
Probably not.
I'm gonna take First and Second Chronicles
together.
What?
Get the set? Yeah,
that is a bad idea.
That's all right.
Hey, he just had 3 picks and blew 2 of them. That's impressive.
I don't need the Kings. I don't need Samuel. I don't need. I got the entire history here. I got Acts. I got Exodus. I got Joshua, and I got the Chronicles. Boys, I pretty much got the entire Old Testament right there.
Sure. Good for you. Good pick. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go for it, Joe.
No, it's your turn.
That collection. It's kind of like when you get the twin. Like if you can draft twins, like nobody's going to understand the hockey reference of the Sedin twins, but sometimes when you get the opportunity to draft both, like one together may not be that big a deal, but when you get both, you hit the sweet spot. So I'm happy with it. That's right. I'm happy with it.
Man, this is where that trade is brutal because I have 2 books that I really, really want right now, and it's not going to happen. So, I will go ahead and take Second Samuel's got all of David's life basically, so I'm gonna take Second Samuel.
Yeah. Hey, you know what else has a lot of his life? Some of that in Chronicles as well.
Not as good. Not as good.
It's basically like the. Never mind. Are you taking both Kings?
No, I'm not taking both Kings. I don't need both. I want First Kings, Solomon, the division of the kingdom. That kind of stuff. Let's see.
You don't complete the story though.
So that's okay.
Jack, whenever it's not your pick, you need to rearrange the trade, just so we can have a clearer picture of who's on whose team. Like I'm looking at your column and I'm seeing Song of Solomon.
Right. Yeah. It's
Well,
I should have.
we're gonna
Yeah, we'll fix that in a bit. Okay, sorry for anyone listening on podcast. This is probably terrible. So you should watch it on YouTube. Check out the Focus Press channel. Okay, so First Kings, and now I'm gonna take. I have Esther next on my board. I don't want Esther. It's a fine book, but let's go with Judges.
Nice.
I had Esther and Judges as my next two on the board.
There you go. So now,
but I'm with you.
Esther.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Plot twist.
I'm gonna go with. This is tough. This is tough. Man, we're running out of New Testament books. Philemon, Jude, 2nd, 3rd John.
You don't want Philemon?
No, I don't. Thank you, though. This is a personal preference.
Haggai's still on the board.
This is a personal preference because it has one of my favorite. It's a crowd pleaser. It's to Jack's point, where there's the crowd pleaser pick, and then there's the, which is like, I'm going to have people voting on mine, so I have to pick right. Because I would jump and take Micah. I happen to love Micah.
Well, you got 2
I'm
picks
gonna
in a row, so go with Micah.
Do I? Okay, I spaced that. I'm gonna go with. Man, this is so difficult. Yeah, I'm gonna say Ezekiel. And I'm gonna say
that's a good pick.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say for crowd pleasing purposes, I am gonna take Esther.
Yeah, no, okay.
I was gonna say
I almost
Joe's like, Esther's my next pick. Also, I'm not gonna pick her in either one of my next 2 picks.
Right. I'm gonna go with Ruth.
Jack's got 2 in a row here.
And then you know what I have very high on my board not long after this that I really want to take, but as far as crowd pleaser is a terrible pick, is Numbers. Numbers is a highly underrated book of the Bible.
Joe, were you taking that one anytime soon?
No. It was on my list for sure, but I was not taking it anytime soon.
So should I leave it there? You guys are just trying to swoop it out from under me.
Oh, wait, I thought you'd already said you picked it.
No.
Okay.
We haven't taken Jeremiah. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff left. I mean, it's the Bible. It's all good stuff, of course, but we're actually now, I think, in almost to 40 picks. And so, yeah, no, we're over 40 picks. So I'm going to take 2 Samuel.
I took that one already.
Did you?
I took.
Oh, I did not. I didn't mark it off my list. You're right. You did. I'm gonna. Okay, 2 Kings is the one that's available. I don't want 2 Kings. I want Numbers. So there it is.
All right. So I have 1 pick now instead of 2 in a row. So those 5. So when's the last New Testament book that was taken? It's been a hot minute. What was it?
2 Timothy by you.
2 Timothy by me. That's right. Let me, Jack, go ahead and read, if you have them, go ahead and read the books that are left for anybody who's listening. I think I know what I'm going to pick, but go ahead.
2 Thessalonians, Jeremiah. Well, now you're getting to see my board.
Okay, I've got them in order.
Keep going.
Yeah. So Old Testament, we have Leviticus, we have 2 Kings, we have Ezra, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. For New Testament, we have 2 Thessalonians, Philemon, 2 John, 3 John, and Jude.
We're going to get some like minor prophet scholar who is just like losing his mind right now.
There's really good ones, but it's kind of like drafting a kicker in the NFL draft. Like even the best one you pick in the 7th round, because I mean, like they only do so much. They're so limited. 2 Thessalonians. Will can tell us who the man of lawlessness is when he finds out from having him on his team. Okay, so 2 Thessalonians. I'm gonna take. You know what? Oh, man, I was going to say one of those minor prophets, but there's still a lot of other stuff sitting there. We're teaching it. I'm going to do it. Leviticus.
Ooh. That's a...
That is not a crowd pleaser. I understand, but,
Definitely not.
That one was not coming off the board for me anytime soon.
I didn't figure, but that's okay. Joe?
Alrighty. I am going to take... Jeremiah and Lamentations.
Oh,
and get the set.
You like those pairs, don't you?
Yep.
All right, that puts it back to me, who I'm gonna take. Let's see, you got Jeremiah, you got Lamentations. I am gonna dip into the Minor Prophets and go with Malachi.
Mm. Man, I'm looking at my list, and if I had not traded you, James, and I had those picks of Isaiah and Job, I would be sitting pretty.
But
If
you're
I had
not.
Isaiah and Job on mine, boy, I
Okay, so
would
of the
regret that
Minor
a little bit.
Prophets, we've had Malachi and Jonah come off.
Jonah.
That's it, right?
Yeah,
I
I'm
got a
taking
couple on
one
my
on,
next
on
one.
this pick. I haven't decided
You get 3
fully
picks in a row
here.
now.
I do
Oh,
get
that's
3.
right.
Oh,
That's right.
man.
Wow, round 18 already. Man.
I've always loved Nahum, so I'm going to take Nahum.
Name.
If you want to study on the wrath of God, I think that's obviously
And you already have
fantastic.
Jonah, kind of part 2, so it makes
There you
sense.
go.
I do. Yep.
Bad time
Next
for Nineveh.
up. Oh, this is tough because there's still 4 New Testament books left.
The little ones.
I am actually gonna take Ezra.
Yeah, I have that up high.
That's my next one. Yep.
Anytime I'm taking y'all's next picks, then that means it's a good pick. All right, one more. Joe shouted out Micah like 8 picks ago and has not picked Micah.
I was hoping it would stay.
I'm gonna do it.
You're not my friend anymore. You're not my friend anymore.
Micah.
Oh,
I'm
come
taking
on.
Micah. Hey, you had your chances.
Do you even know what
Had
Micah
your
says?
chances. That's the
That's true. That's true. Okay.
All right, Joe. What you got? 2 in a
All
row.
right. I'm gonna go with Hosea.
Jose, great pick.
And I'm gonna go with, I feel like we need to take, you know what? When I studied it, I had a really good time studying Jude.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next pick. So Hosea and Jude.
2 Kings is the size of my board, but I don't need them because I got the Chronicles. So
yeah, I know. That's way up there for me, and we've just kind of scrolled past it. You took Ezra, you said, right?
Man, I did take Ezra.
Jude is gone. Another minor prophet that's great is Joel. Anybody who gets quoted on the day of Pentecost in Acts 2, he's all right by my book.
That is true. That is very true. Good point. I got 2 in a row now, right? Yeah. I don't have much of the Kings because all I have is 2 Samuel, so I'll take 2 Kings.
Okay.
For balance here. Oh man, we are down to what is that? 8 books left? 9 books left.
9 books, yeah.
9 books. I am going to go with I'll take Amos.
Amos, okay.
Give me Amos.
Amos.
Either the prophet or the
Love his cookies.
Prophet. Let's see. We have not done Zechariah, right?
Correct.
I'm going with that.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
that was my pick.
It's such a good book.
Zechariah 3 is one of my favorite chapters.
Right. The priestly garments and it points toward Revelation. There's quotation in there. There's some of the apocalyptic stuff. Yeah, very good.
I'm gonna go Philemon, and I'm gonna go with the Zephaniah, Habakkuk, Haggai, Obadiah. I jumbled them in there because I don't really have a preference on what I would pick first. I think I'll just go with Obadiah is unique because it's the shortest.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, Obadiah.
Obadiah. 2nd and 3rd John haven't been taken, right?
They have not.
Correct.
Okay. 2nd John for me. I haven't taken the New Testament in 10 rounds, so I should probably grab one.
Jack just didn't like the New Testament.
All right, so these are my last 2 picks.
Last 2 picks.
Habakkuk.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make y'all fight over Zephaniah and Haggai. I'll take 3rd John.
Oh man. Well.
What is the last pick? What is Mr. Irrelevant going to be for the books of the Bible?
that's very bad. You can't
that's horrible.
The Bible.
Sorry. For anybody who's listening, the last pick of the NFL draft is always called Mr. Irrelevant. So just want to put that out there.
Yes, Zephaniah. We're not calling him that. Haggai is my pick there, which leaves Joe Zephaniah. So this was a lot of fun. As I said, this is a lot more fun to watch than to listen to. So we really appreciate everyone who listens via podcast, and hopefully it was still enjoyable in that format. But let's kind of review a little bit and see if there's any final trades you guys want to make because I fleeced you so bad on some of the other ones. And
I've still got Colossians on the market just because it's similar to Ephesians. So where I got it, I feel good about it. It was good value, but I feel like it could be better served on somebody else's team. So that's the only thing that I'll say.
Colossians. Okay. Man, you've got 1st and 2nd Timothy. I'd almost throw you Titus and give you for Colossians, but give you the set, but I don't know. Okay, let's Joe's lineup of Bible books that he drafted: Romans, Exodus, Matthew, Acts, 1 Corinthians, Philippians, 1 Peter, Daniel, Joshua, 1 Thessalonians, 1 Chronicles. Hold on, I'm coming to it. Ezekiel, Esther, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Hosea, Jude, Philemon, Obadiah, and Zephaniah, and acquired by trade James and 2 Chronicles. Not bad. Let's see. Okay. Mine are Psalms, John, Hebrews, Revelation, Ecclesiastes, Galatians, 1 Samuel, 2 Corinthians, Nehemiah, Titus, Judges, Ruth, Leviticus, Malachi, Joel, Zechariah, 2 John, Haggai, acquired by trade Isaiah, Job, 1 Kings, and Numbers. Man, I was wheeling and dealing tonight, I tell you. And then Will had Genesis, Ephesians, Luke, Proverbs, 1 Timothy, 1 John, Colossians, Mark, Jonah, 2 Peter, Deuteronomy, 2 Timothy, 2 Samuel, 2 Thessalonians, Nahum, Ezra, 2 Kings, Amos, Habakkuk, 3 John, and acquired by trade Song of Solomon and Micah. I got to say, I was shocked you offered a trade for Song of Solomon in round 12.
Well, I thought Joe was going to snatch it up. And as far as Old Testament books that have solid teaching value, that one was pretty high up there, I felt like, for what was left at the time.
Please do tell me about your solid teaching value in this one.
Hey, you're the one with the class. You're the one with the class on it.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they let me teach it, to be honest with you. So let's say, no, I mean, I figured it would, I dropped it low on my list because I figured it would kind of stick around and I'd snag it in some later 16th, 17th round.
It was good for you. 66th round.
Well, the picks that Jack, the picks you took from
was it really your 66? What?
Wow.
Nothing against it, but
Jack, how's your marriage?
It's it's a pretty limited usage, on
that note, I will say, Jack, the picks you took from me were 1 Kings and Numbers, so I don't really feel that bad.
I got a lot more.
The picks you took from me were Isaiah and Job.
Yeah, I got a lot more out of my trade with Joe. So
you did.
I really thought you'd leave one of those, and that hurts. Honestly, that hurts.
I got Micah out of the deal, so
yeah.
Joe's regretting his trade. You can tell.
See, I like the First Kings. You got Elijah stories in there. Go read First Kings. I mean, and this was the point of this exercise.
First Kings is great.
Is you can get very focused on certain parts of the Bible, very New Testament focused, and you just realize, man, it's hard. And yeah, you end up with books picked in the 22nd round, but they're really good books in themselves. I mean, I picked Haggai with the next to last pick in the draft, and really important stuff in there, and 3 John, and like every part of the Bible is really engaging, really just really relevant, really powerful. And so, yeah, I mean, it probably came across. We struggle over these things because it's challenging to pick which one you want more than another, or to build like a lineup of, if this was all you had was 22 books that you could take with you. So I guess when we're asking people to evaluate, what grounds are we asking them to evaluate on? Is it the number of best books? It is the most complete span.
I was going to say most complete. That's very much what I was
going to say. If you had to pick one team of books that you had to read for the rest of your life out of the Bible, which team would you take?
Okay, that's a
like. Are you willing to miss out on Romans if you take me or Jack's pick? Are you willing to miss out on Genesis if you take one of the other two? So
yeah.
I'm sitting pretty in that. As I'm seeing it. Romans, Matthew, Acts, First Corinthians.
Yeah,
Esther.
good for you. We'll put it to the people and see what we get.
Pretty good.
So what we're gonna do, as I said, if you're watching on video, you're seeing the list right in front of you here, which should be helpful. If you're listening via podcast, we're gonna put these up on the Think Deeper Facebook page. So just search Think Deeper Podcast if you don't already follow us on there. We're going to have people vote by like. So we're going to put all three Bible book lists up. You like who you think has the most complete, well-rounded team that they have drafted, and I guess that will be the Super Bowl winner of the Think Deeper Podcast Bible Books draft. So it's been a lot of fun. As we said,
yes.
We've between I don't know what have been some of the topics: church discipline, public school,
two on prayer.
Yeah, women's roles, the ones on prayer. There's been some really heavy stuff, some controversial stuff. We've had a lot of feedback and things like that we've been dealing with for a while. So let's just have a good time. Let's kick it around, figure out who can draft the best 22 books of the Bible, and see what the deep thinkers think. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have comments, if you think somebody reached really bad with a pick when you see these lists of pick by round, I stand by Revelation in round 4. Joe just didn't understand it well enough. Is the problem there?
That's what it is.
And so where you see a pick that fell way too far, if your favorite book got drafted in the 17th round or something, well, tell us. If we went too high on one of them and you think, man, why would you grab that there? And just that's the fun of it is when you're in the Bible, we all have different opinions on it. And so that's kind of what we're getting at here. Anything else from you guys before we close?
Again, please don't take this too seriously.
I'm not worried about it. If somebody's listening this long, they understand. It's just having a good time. So hopefully they caught the disclaimer on the front end.
That's true.
But yeah, no, again, thanks for listening. And we will be back with something a little bit more normal next week. And we'll talk to you then.